What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today we have a super duper exciting unboxing to do. This package just came in today. Today is Monday. You guys will be seeing this today on Monday, so happy Monday. Hopefully you guys all had a good start to your work week. My work day was actually okay, and then I knew I was coming home to unbox this, and it just makes the day so much better. This package is coming in from none other than Mr. Casey over at Knives Fast, aka Tempest Knives. And if you are aware of things in the EDC knife space, you probably know what this is. They have been landing with a lot of other content creators that are kind of in the same sphere as myself. I reached out to Casey to ask if I said that he would. Actually, I'll say this. He he put a message in our little Instagram group chat of all the EDC knife guys, and he said if you guys are interested in buying one early, send an email to me and we'll get things worked out. Well, I sent him an email and I ended up taking like a week to respond to him because I was just so busy and I had a lot of stuff going on. So I'm a little bit behind the wave, but I'm still getting it in early compared to when the drop is. So we'll get into the unboxing here in a second. I'm very, very excited. If you can't tell, kind of chatting fast. Unboxing knife is another Tempest Knives. This is Tempest Knives knife. This is the Microburst. Absolutely love this knife. I actually just sold my Fractus probably about a month ago. I just didn't carry it a ton. I love the Fractus. It was my best value of the year last year. And I really want Casey to do a mini Fractus. I think that would sell like hotcakes. Like a 3-ish inch blade would be fantastic. So hopefully in the future he does that, because I think a ton of people would love that. I just didn't carry it a ton with it being a bigger blade, and with summer coming up and stuff like that, I'm obviously wearing shorts and things, and I just wasn't getting a ton of carry at it, and I needed some cash for some other stuff, so it was one of the ones that I got sold off. But I don't think I've said the knife by now, but this is the Tempest Knives Downdraft, and this is arguably, no, it's not arguably, it is the most anticipated knife I've had coming in from Casey over at Tempest. This has been a model that I have been sporadically and periodically asking him about ever since he announced or showed the prototypes. I want to say probably a year and a half ago or so. And he had the microjets. Then he had the Fractus, and then I think there was one more he did, and then he got around to doing this. And these knives drop this coming Saturday, so you guys are seeing this on Monday the 5th. These drop on Saturday, May 10th at 1 p.m. I will leave a link to Tempest Knives down below. Please go check Casey out, and you guys can see all the listings are up. There are 5 different variations. Excuse me. There's actually 6 variations. 5 are being sold on Tempest Knives website, and then the 6th is a dealer exclusive. We'll touch on that in a minute. But you can, all the prices are up, all of the specs and everything like that is up. But here we have, as you guys can see, I got the bead blasted in aluminum. Bead blasted aluminum and stonewash 154 cm. So when I reached out to him, I said that I was interested in the aluminum or one of the 80s camo carbon. They have a blacked out bladed version with blacked out hardware or a stonewash version. And I was going to possibly get the 80s, but the aluminum was one of the first. It was like the original variant that I saw him post about. So I have kind of had like, an affinity for the aluminum version forever. And he, basically asked me, hey, Alex, would you mind getting the aluminum one? Just because he hadn't had any reviewers pick up that model yet. And I was like, that's a great idea. Like I said, it was one of the earlier, or it was the earliest, model that I've seen from him. And I kind of had my mindset on that one for a while. But here is the Downdraft sticker. Of course, a thank you little warranty card there for Mr. Casey. Get a beautiful Tempest Knives microfiber. And then here, nestled in the phone, is the Downdraft. And yes, guys, I am very, very excited. This has been, you know, a long time coming, I'm sure, for Casey, but it's also been, you know, a while for me for wanting it. Here is the knife, guys. So right off the rip, aluminum. If you guys have handled aluminum before, you know, in the knife world, it tends to be a little bit slippery. It's a little bit of a, you know, learning curve to get used to, but absolutely love Casey's pivots, the 5-spoke, excuse me, pivots there. You guys can see just a nice bead blast aluminum. Beautiful wire, deep carry pocket clip. It'll be great for shorts carry in the summer. You guys can see a hole for deployment, and then it has a little micro flipper back here, which is very, very cool. A little bit of a line there, or a line there for a little bit of aesthetic. We'll try the back flipper first. Fires right out. Beautiful Warncliffe style 154 cm blade. You guys can see both of my eyes. Nice fuller built in there as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking blade. Like, how can you look at this and not think this is sexy as hell? Fantastic ergos. Great in the hand. Plenty of lock bar access there. No blade play. Ooh, buttery smooth. The back flipper will, I'm not going to say it's going to take me a little bit to get used to, but it is just so small, which I really like. I mean, it looks great from an aesthetic standpoint, closed. And you guys can see it's functioned very, very well. Jimping is perfect. It's, you know, definitely on the, I would say in the medium, you know, range of aggressiveness, but feels great. Great drop. Reverse flick, there we go. That is money. Feels fantastic. These were OEM by Kubi. Thumb flick, works great. Buttery smooth right out of the rip. Just really, really nice. Again, no blade play. Great action. Dead centered, right down the rip there, down the middle. I was gonna say dead nuts. Can fit all 4 fingers of this knife. You have a lot of jimping up top there, which is great. And then you do have a landing choil, which you can choke up on. Also feels really good. I'd say medium blade stock thickness, but comes down to a nice thin edge. Beautiful tip there. Yeah, this is already living up to the expectations. I'm loving it already. This thing is going to get quite a bit of pocket time. I mean, it's pretty slim. I mean, for having a Warncliffe style blade, usually Warncliffes are, you know, a taller blade, but, you know, this tucks into the handle pretty well. I mean, it's a very slim, I'll get rid of that little sticker there. There we go. Got rid of the little clip protector there, but nice and slim. Pocket clip's going to carry great. Yeah, and again, it's so smooth, so buttery smooth already. And I'm only like 10 flicks in, so this thing is going to get a ton of pocket time in the near future, and, you know, pretty much I think it's going to be a great carry in the summer. But yeah, guys, so this is the Tempest Knives Downdraft. This will be coming on Saturday, May 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, I will leave a link to Tempest Knives down below where you can check out Casey's calling this the Hailstorm version. He also is doing 2 80s camo carbon versions. One, again, with a stonewash blade with satin flats and satin or stonewash hardware, and then another one with either DLC or PVD coated blade with DLC or PVD coated hardware. He's calling the blacked out version the Disco Storm. He's calling the stonewash version the Synth Wave. He's also doing a kind of tiger anodized titanium that is going to be called the Firestorm. This one is called the Hailstorm, and then he has a silver 12 version, which is the Silver Streak. And then, as I mentioned earlier, he does have a dealer exclusive, which is Blade Binge. They are doing the like Brittany blue camo carbon version with everything hardware and scales being blacked out, or excuse me, hardware and blade being blacked out, which is pretty cool. I'm not the biggest fan of kind of teal, Brittany blue, sort of Tiffany blue colors, but it does look very, very good. So if you guys are interested in that, head on over to Blade Binge and check that out. But I'm not going to get my full review done before Saturday, but I am going to probably post some shorts and keep you guys updated on Instagram and things like that of the drop. Try to gain as much noise as we can for Mr. Casey, because I think this is, you know, as much as I love the Fractus, as much as I love most of his knives, I think this one might be the best one yet. So, but I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you guys are planning on picking up one of these on Saturday, leave a comment down below and tell me which version you're getting. I believe you can use, I think there's codes on Tempest. I'm not 100% sure, but I think if you check out Tempest's Instagram page, and if you watch Casey's videos on Knives Fast, he probably will drop some information on that. But leave a comment down below what version you're getting. So, but I'm gonna wrap this up now. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.